There's royal drama, and then there's this. The hospital Meghan Markle claimed she gave birth has come forward saying she was never there. No check-ins, no medical records, no proof, zero, and just like that, the birth of baby Archie, the child who holds royal blood and a place in the line of succession, is thrown into chaos. Did Meghan fake the entire pregnancy? Was a surrogate hidden behind the palace curtains? Buckle up, because what you're about to hear has the power to tear down the entire post-royal fairy tale.
Don't fabricate a story and then change it and lie. Straight up lie that she's in labor when Archie's already been born for several hours. Don't do that.
Paid $28 for Chateau Meg, aren't they?
Even her kids are fake produce, it turns out.
Well,
we don't know
looks
that.
like they could be.
So let's get this straight. Meghan Markle, not to be confused with Meghan Sussex, the Queen of I don't know what this means, but I'm going to say it anyway, announced Archie's birth like it was a royal Netflix special. But now, the actual hospital she claimed to use says she was never even there. No admission, no birth records, not even a parking receipt. That's not just suspicious, it's royal-level gaslighting. And yet, people are still out here calling it a privacy choice? Please, when you fake a storyline, eventually the script falls apart. And let's be honest, this script is starting to look like one of her podcast episodes. All hype, no facts, and way too much lighting.
She doesn't want anything to do with her own children. They are props in this whole PR game that she is playing to make her look like a loving mother.
Remember how Harry used to be the cheeky prince with charm? Now he's out here giving speeches like he's still an active royal. Why? It's pathetic. And Meghan, she went from Duchess to jam jar influencer. What empire? Someone asked. Exactly. Meghan has no empire, just a collection of half-baked projects and ghosted friendships. If a person's not useful to her anymore, she ghosts them faster than she drops a podcast episode. Even Thomas Markle, her own dad, is sitting there like, hello, come on Tyler, wake up. She's not your friend, tell us the truth. Because if even the hospital isn't backing her story anymore, what else is about to fall apart? Let's rewind to 2019. Meghan appears with Harry, holding baby Archie, looking like she just walked off a Vogue shoot. Full glam, no sweat, no exhaustion, just flawless. But here's the thing, there was no footage of her leaving a hospital. No photos of a maternity wing, not even a blurry paparazzi shot of a car pulling up. That's unheard of for the British royals. Diana, Kate, they all walked out with the baby in their arms. Flashbulbs going off. Meghan, poof, baby appeared, no one knows from where. And when people asked questions, they were labeled as conspiracy theorists. But now that a hospital has come forward saying we've never seen this woman in our building, it's not a theory anymore, it's a scandal, and honestly, it's giving reality show, not royalty. Meghan wanted the crown, but skipped the receipts. And here's where it gets really weird, because this isn't just about hospital logs. The entire timeline was messy from the start. The palace first said Meghan was in labor, then hours later, boom, Archie was already born. No one saw them arrive at a hospital, no one saw them leave. Everything about the birth was behind closed doors. It's almost like they were scared someone might catch something on camera. And remember that one clip where Meghan's baby bump folded when she sat down? People laughed it off back then, said it was just fabric. But now those clips are going viral again, frame by frame, and let's be honest, it's starting to look like an expensive prop job. Meghan built her brand around being real, but this isn't real. This is curated. KS, and poor Harry, he's out here nodding like someone told him, just smile and wave, mate. The man looks like he's been stuck in a royal escape room with no exit. What makes this whole situation even more suspicious is the silence. Meghan's team, usually lightning fast with damage control, hasn't said a single word about the hospital's denial. Not even a generic "this is private" response. And we all know Meghan's playbook by now. Stay silent, watch the outrage build, then pop up in a perfectly lit interview with pre-approved questions and a cup of herbal tea, talking about her truth. But this time, that silence is deafening. And it's making people think, what are they hiding? Because this isn't about gossip anymore. It's about the legitimacy of a royal child. Archie isn't just a kid, he's part of the line of succession. if he wasn't actually born of Meghan's body, and that fact was deliberately hidden, it's not just shady, it's a constitutional mess. You can't have a monarchy where one baby's birth is based on vibes and mood lighting. Even the Queen had to sign off on Archie's title. Did she know, or was she sold a fairy tale too? And while we're at it, can someone explain how Meghan was walking in stilettos in her last trimester like she was on a runway? That bump didn't move like nature intended. 1 second it's high and firm, the next it's shifting like a poorly secured costume. If Meghan wanted to be iconic, she should have remembered. Icons don't need costume changes, they stand by the truth. Let's talk about that infamous bump footage, the one where Meghan sits down and her stomach literally folds. At the time, the media rushed to her defense. It's just the dress, they said, the fabric shifted, but come on. Fabric doesn't crease like that unless there's something underneath it that single quotes as ... not a baby. Now those old clips are resurfacing, and this time people aren't laughing, they're asking real questions. Side-by-side comparisons show the bump changing shape in different interviews, even on the same day. One moment it's high and tight, next it's lower and loose. Either gravity was playing tricks, or Meghan was auditioning for the role of most confusing pregnancy ever. Meanwhile, Catherine walked out of the hospital hours after giving birth, looking like she'd actually been through labor. Meghan, on the other hand, looked like she just finished a spa day. There's glam and then there's impossible. The more you look, the more it feels like we were watching a staged production, not a royal milestone. And that's where the real danger is, because if the public starts believing everything was faked from the pregnancy to the photo ops, then Meghan doesn't just lose credibility. She loses the one thing she's always craved: control over the narrative. And here's the twist no one saw coming. Rumors are spreading that even members of the royal family were privately questioning the birth. Whispers behind palace walls, staff confused by the secrecy, and even talk of Meghan possibly using a surrogate. Now listen, surrogacy isn't the issue. Plenty of women, including high-profile figures, use surrogates and are celebrated for it. The issue is the cover-up. Meghan didn't just keep it private, she went all in with belly-cupping maternity shoots, Vogue-style baby bump portraits, and baby showers sponsored by her list friends. That's not privacy, that's PR. If there was a surrogate, she had every right to protect that woman's identity. But pretending to be pregnant, that's next-level manipulation. It's not a privacy choice, it's deception with wardrobe changes. And Harry, let's not pretend he's just along for the ride. The guy grew up with every detail of his life documented: birth certificates, hospital steps, press coverage. You really think he didn't notice things weren't adding up either? He's part of the act, or he's in deeper denial than anyone expected. And when even loyal fans start commenting things like, "She's not your friend, Tyler," or "This is getting embarrassing," you know the illusion is breaking. This goes way beyond Meghan's personal brand. This touches the monarchy's legal core. Archie isn't just a child with royal parents. He's a potential heir with constitutional weight. And if he wasn't born from Meghan's body, that raises serious questions about the line of succession. Royal birthrights aren't like influencer launches. You can't just fake it with a good camera angle and a team of stylists. The monarchy has rules, centuries of them. And one of the unspoken but critical ones, transparency. Where you were born, how you were born, and yes, to whom. So when even the hospital listed on Archie's paperwork is denying Meghan was ever there, it's not just awkward, it's explosive. This isn't some internet rabbit hole. This is now a matter of royal integrity. If the Queen signed off on Archie's title based on information that wasn't true, that's not just embarrassing, it's a scandal. A slow, creeping, image-shattering scandal. And yet, crickets, no statement from Meghan, no denial, just silence. The kind of silence that screams louder than any tabloid ever could. And what's really wild, the more you look back, the more it seems like the whole royal pregnancy was written like a Netflix drama, from the photo shoots to the interviews, to the perfectly timed public appearances. Everything felt scripted. Soft focus lighting, inspirational quotes, vague emotional appeals. Meghan didn't just tell her story, she produced it. But here's the problem with writing your own story. If even one fact doesn't line up, the whole thing starts to fall apart. That's what's happening now. The glossy fairy tale has cracks and people are zooming in. Social media is not buying it anymore. The top comments aren't love letters. They're punchlines. What empire? She ghosted her own dad. Charles didn't marry a yacht girl. Ouch. And while Meghan was selling face oils and overpriced jam, Catherine was out there doing her job quiet, dignified, consistent. No drama, no filters, just presence. That's the real contrast. One became a brand, the other became a symbol. Meghan wanted to be an icon, but icons don't get exposed by hospital records. Behind all the glam, the quotes, and the curated social media posts, one thing is becoming painfully clear. Meghan's strategy was built on illusion, and now that illusion is collapsing. Her latest venture, some overpriced lifestyle brand, filled with vague product descriptions and recycled Pinterest vibes, feels like a last-ditch attempt to stay relevant. And the numbers? Not looking great. Critics are calling it a vanity project with no real value, just another echo of a once powerful brand running on fumes. And maybe that's the real irony here. Meghan left the royal family in search of freedom, but somehow ended up more trapped than ever. Not by protocol, not by press, but by her own narrative. And now that narrative is falling apart under real scrutiny. The fairy tale she tried to sell, glowing pregnancies, jam jars, victimhood interviews, it's all being rewatched, reanalyzed, and rejudged. And this time, people aren't buying the story. They want the truth, the silence, the inconsistencies. The hospital's bombshell? It all leads to one thing: this wasn't a privacy decision. This was a cover-up dressed as empowerment. Meghan didn't just rewrite the royal rulebook, she lit it on fire and forgot the receipts. So now the question isn't, was Meghan treated unfairly? It's, what else have we been sold that never actually happened? The cracks are no longer hidden, they're front and center. And if the truth behind Archie's birth ever comes out fully, it won't just rattle Meghan's image, it could shake the royal foundation itself. Because in the end, royal or not, facts still matter, and this time, the facts aren't on her side. But we'll leave it there for now, because something tells us this story, it's far from over. And what's coming next might just change everything.